canon events, anomalies, and bagels. Everything that caused this incredible, crazy adventure.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow Spider-Man Christopher Johnson.
Hello everyone.
And we end Year of the Spider with Across the Spiderverse.
Yes. One of the very few successful films that came out this year.
Yep. Out of our year of box office bomb reviews.
Yeah.
Which we're not done yet.
Oof. Yeah, I think this was like one of 3.
Yeah.
Sad. But hey, everything's coming up Spider-Man and Mario.
Yeah.
But let me get into the overview. Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse is a 2023 computer animated superhero film featuring the Marvel Comics character Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man. Produced by Columbia Pictures and Sony Pictures Animation in association with Marvel Entertainment and distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing. The film is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and is set in a shared multiverse of alternate universes called the Spider-Verse. The film is directed by Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson from a screenplay written by Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, and David Callahan. The film stars Shameik Moore as Miles Morales alongside the voices of Haley Steinfeld, Brian Tyree Henry, Luna Lauren Velez, Jake Johnson, Jason Schwartzman, Issa Rae, Karan Soni, Daniel Kaluuya, and Oscar Isaac.
And the synopsis.
Okay. After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Miles Morales, is catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence, known as the Spider Society. However, when the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders. He must soon redefine what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves most.
I thought it was a great movie.
Yes. I wasn't sure how they were going to up the ante after Into the Spider-Verse, but they upped the ante.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, the action, all the different spider people, and how the events of the first film wove perfectly into what we see in this film.
Yep. Let's talk about Miles Morales himself. More. Well, I thought he did well, though he doesn't really appear to after the first 10-15 minutes, 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because this isn't just his story.
Yeah.
It's also, weirdly enough, Gwen Stacy's story.
Miles versus Joseph, Gwen hanging out with another Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then he, along with trying to fight the Spot.
Yeah, who he initially calls the villain of the week.
Yeah. Well,
but who ends up becoming, my God, one of the most serious threats ever.
Finds out the hard way from Spider-Man 2099 that he's an anomaly, that he wasn't meant to be Spider-Man.
No. Everything that happened to him should have caused an incursion, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, he's an anomaly that isn't causing catastrophe.
Yep. And so he ends up going into where the spider was from.
And he comes face to face with himself.
Voiced by another actor.
Really?
Yeah. That isn't it.
Shameik Moore didn't voice that other version of Miles.
No.
Interesting. But yet, Miles is going through all this while also trying to figure out what he's going to do next with his life.
Yeah.
You know, as he's starting to get closer to finishing high school. Where his relationship with Gwen is. And also trying to balance his responsibilities as Spider-Man while also still being, you know, the loving, normal son to his parents.
And prevent his father's future death.
Yes, because canon events. Yeah, unfortunately, every Spider-Man must go through certain events that make them what they are. And no matter what, almost every Spider-Man has to go through it. You have to deal with someone dying that teaches you with great power comes great responsibility. And you must deal with a police captain dying, showing that sometimes you just can't save everyone.
Well, technically, police captain or his daughter. And or his daughter.
Very true. Yeah. I guess, does that mean Peter was Gwen's you can't save everyone moment, or was he the great power comes great responsibility?
Oh, the great power.
Yeah. Because he was the first death.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every Spider-Man must go through these events, no matter what, whether they like it or not. So therefore, yeah, it causes an issue when Miles finds out, oh, his dad is about to be promoted to police captain. And police captain is a canon event. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, well,
he already lost his uncle. He can't lose his dad.
Yeah, as of right now, he's stuck in another universe.
Yeah. Being held hostage by an alternate universe of his uncle and himself.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure how long that cliffhanger will be.
Yeah. Between the VFX artists being mad, being overworked, writer strike and actor strike, who knows?
Yeah.
But Shameik Moore did fantastic. He really did. You saw definitely a great deal of growth with Miles in this.
Yeah, and he was still said that Peter and Gwen never decided to visit him.
Yeah. But, I mean, in a weird way, how could they, without explaining the Spider Society and everything? So, But hey, he did get a nice reunion with them. And plus, we have definitely seen a great deal of growth of Miles as Spider-Man. You know, he's really come into his own as Spider-Man.
He interacts more with his dad as Spider-Man, didn't he? Yeah,
and it has a much nicer rapport compared to, you know, some of the other Spider people and captains of the police.
Let's talk about the second, the one who I feel like it's more of her story than Miles.
Well, Gwen Stacy, AKA Spider-Woman, played by Haley Steinfeld.
Make sure they do get her backstory, through flashbacks.
Yeah, much more detailed flashbacks.
Yeah.
showing how she got bit with the spider, everything that happened with Peter and his death.
Yeah, but
him becoming the lizard.
Yeah, I also implied that she had a crush on him also before.
Yeah. I think it was kind of insinuated that they both had feelings for each other.
Yeah.
Even though they never officially got to become a thing.
Yeah.
And also her complicated relationship with her father, because while he is a loving father and trying to do everything to support her, he's also the guy leading the hunt to fight,
because he
arrest her.
Because he blames her for Peter's death.
Yeah. Not realizing that, oh, that's your daughter.
Just like Harry blamed Spider-Man for Norman's death in the Spider-Man movies.
Even though it was his own glider.
Yeah. And he was going to arrest her once he found out it was her.
Yeah. And you could tell he was so conflicted about this because, oh, Lord, this is my daughter. But as police captain, I have to arrest her because vigilante, and also because of evidence, it's deemed that she may have caused the death of Peter Parker. Yeah, that would break anyone. I don't feel. Yeah, I feel for Gwen on this one.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then she having to lie to Miles about why she was
visiting. Yeah, she was essentially tasked to
and not telling him
find out what the Spot is doing,
and not telling him the truth about him being an anomaly, which also hurt him.
Yeah. I swear, everyone keeping secrets.
Yeah, so where she decides to rectify by recruiting her own
band.
Yep.
Which is everybody
it's
that...
It's going to be a Spider-Man Civil War, probably. We're going to probably get that in that third final movie.
Yeah, and I guess without the Spider Vampires, because, you know, last time an event like this happened was in the comics, and they were dealing with the Spider Vampires that were sucking the life essence out of different spider people, so they all had to work to fight them.
Yeah.
And that one also included Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland.
Yeah, well, Haley Steinfeld did a good job. She has a sexy voice, not just the rest of her, but we're just felt like randomly pointed at her.
See, now I feel weird about that because while she is a grown woman, her character is not a grown woman.
Well, just ignore the character part and talk about the.
But we're watching the character.
I know.
You see, you're causing a calamity. You're causing a calamity. Yes. No black hole yet. But yes, she did a fantastic job, and dear God, just like how we saw with Shameik Moore, she also had to go through the whole range of emotions.
Yeah.
You really felt for Gwen.
Yeah.
But you're also rooting for her, just like how you're rooting for Miles.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the other spider people.
Okay. Well, Peter B. Parker, AKA SpiderMan, played by Jake Johnson.
Yep.
It's great to see him back, and he got his life back in order again.
Yeah, he brought his daughter along for multiversal trips.
And apparently they have special passes for babies.
Yeah.
But it's great to see that Peter reconciled and got back together with Mary Jane, and they had their daughter, Mayday Parker.
Yeah, and of course he doesn't. This time it's the other way around. He doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Much. He shows up right as Miguel. As
Miguel explains the whole situation.
Yeah. Becomes the bad cop. Worse than bad cop.
Though, interestingly enough, Peter doesn't end up getting back together with Mary Jane and having Mayday without meeting Miles.
Yeah.
Does that make Mayday
Yeah.
an anomaly?
Technically, yeah. So many questions.
And yet, that hasn't caused an incursion.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I'm happy to see Peter B be so happy.
Yeah.
You know, he's just being a goofy, lovable dad.
Yep, and his only conflict with Miles is when Miles asks, why didn't you ever come to see him?
Yeah. Which, I mean...
After Miles learned from the reveal, yeah.
Yeah, they all could have come and see him, but no, he's being excluded because he's the biggest anomaly that wasn't supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But yet somehow not causing an incursion.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter B, in the end, is always on Miles' side.
Yeah.
And is, I think, one of the first people to join the band.
Yeah.
I mean, any additional thoughts?
No. Alrighty.
Okay. Well, next, do we go more into those that befriended him, or those that end up becoming...
Those who befriended him.
Okay. Well, why don't we get into... Pavtir Prahavkar. It's weird too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man India, played by
Dopinder.
Yes, Karin Soni, aka Dopinder, everyone's favorite cab driver.
Yeah.
So yeah, he now joins the league of actors who must play multiple characters.
Yeah.
And my God,
And he's a great Gwen and Miles shipper.
yes. And my God, do I love Spider-Man India. He's so endearing.
Yep.
He's so endearing and likable. Precious cinnamon bun, salt of the earth. I want to see more of Spider-Man India.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Deadpool brings that in Deadpool 3. At least mentions him in
Cool.
Deadpool 3.
True.
To Dopinder.
Yeah, in another universe, you're Spider-Man. Really? Really, Mr. Poole? But I love Spider-Man India, and I love his weird, like, combo city of Manhattan and, I forget the main capital city of India. Mm-hmm. But they're kind of meshed together, and you feel like it's both New York and it's India, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, he also gets with the captain's daughter.
Yes. And with him working with Gwen, Miles, and then Hobie, they saved the captain, but that ends up starting to cause an incursion. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, Captain was supposed to die.
Yeah.
And apparently they were able to save his universe. But now, what does that lead? What does that lead?
I don't know, but he joins the band.
Yeah, which very warranted, despite the fact he has that moment with Miles over how to pronounce chai or chai tea.
He also does that with Spot.
Yes. Yes, play clips.
Oh, I love chai tea. No!
Probably once the digital comes out.
It is hilarious. Oh, I love chai tea. No! And I think, was he also getting on Spot of potentially being kind of racist?
I think so. But now that we mentioned him, Hobie.
Yes. one of the best parts of the whole film. Hobart Hobie Brown, a.k.a. SpiderPunk, played by Daniel Kaluuya.
From Black Panther.
Yes. The League of Actors Who Must Play Multiple Characters.
Yeah.
Hobie Brown is quite possibly the best part of this whole film.
Yep, he just doesn't really care what kind of relationship him and Gwen were in. He knew her heart was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Than just with him, yeah.
Even though at first it kind of feels like Miles is dealing with you're the guy and the guy she tells you not to worry about. Mm-hmm. Because, dear God, is this man so cool?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a full-time Spider-Man. He's in a punk rock band. He's a fashion model. And yet he does everything in his own unique way. He doesn't conform to ideas of what it's supposed to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. When those few Spider-Man doesn't get along with Miguel.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, what can Miguel do? It's Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
He's too cool. He's too cool. Mm. Everyone looks up to this man.
And he also joins the band even after their breakup.
Yeah, and initially he's like, yeah, I'm out. Mm-hmm. But no, he comes back.
Yeah.
And I love how they showed how they made, his animation style, because every version of Spider-Man has their own unique, way that they're presented or animated. Hobie, his whole look is kind of inspired with the punk rock aesthetic, all the different posters and graffiti that kind of piece things together, and his color changes when it with his emotion and with things that are going on top of his look changing because of that whole aesthetic. I mean, it literally took the whole VFX team 3 years to animate just him. 3 years just to animate him. But it was perfect. I really want to see them do more with Spider-Punk.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see him more either in a spin-off movie or what.
Yeah. And plus, also, along with Miles and other characters, he is a diverse character that is unique, properly, organically created, that everyone likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was created by a black creator. And him being a black Spider-Man, I mean, that could lead to some really great things. Just like how it has been with Miles.
But want to talk about some of Gwen's sort of allies? Spider allies? Like the other Spider-Woman?
Well, okay. Well, Jessica Drew, a.k.a. Spider-Woman, played by Issa Rae.
Yeah.
Now, a much different Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
Now, they still acknowledge that the original Jessica Drew exists, but this Jessica Drew is still similar but different. Because one, they decided to go ahead and choose an African-American Jessica Drew, and two, they decided to have her be the one that's pregnant. Which is a thing I have never understood when it comes to Spider-Woman in the comics, because apparently during Civil War, she was pregnant, but yet was still doing her superhero duties, which, why are you doing that while pregnant? I mean, Just because you superpowered, what, does that still not make you a high risk? Explain. But I do like how they did make Jessica Drew, her being one of the main leaders of the Spider Society. Not the leader, but...
She recruited Gwen.
Yeah. And her doing her best to make sure that canon events are going to plan, and making sure that things don't end up happening to different Spider universes.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I also like how she uniquely does things. I mean, her riding her motorcycle while web slinging and everything.
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean,
I liked her. I just didn't like her well enough because she was mainly on Miguel's side.
Yeah, she does end up becoming an antagonist.
Yeah,
not a villain, an antagonist.
Yeah,
but hey, she's just following orders.
Yeah,
you know. I guess before we get into the biggest bad, talk about a couple of the other supporting.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Reilly, aka the Scarlet Spider, played by Andy Samberg.
He's much more of a comedic Ben Reilly than...
Yeah, because he's overly dramatic about, being a clone and his backstory.
Yeah.
Which Andy Samberg did a fantastic job. He really did. I mean, Ben didn't get to necessarily do too much, but it was awesome to see him, and,
He gets kicked out by Gwen.
Yeah. Which actually starts to show... I'll get a bit more into it after we talk about the next one.
Okay.
Margot Cass, a.k.a. SpiderBite, played by Amanda Stenberg. Yeah, she's a much different spider individual because everything she does is via VR.
Yeah.
Like very Ready Player One. So... did they ever fully explain how... Is she just a normal girl, but in her VR world, she is Spider-Woman?
I guess so.
And apparently, she's the one that controls the main computer that, sends everyone that needs to go to their universe, and also housing, various villains and anomalies and things like that.
Yeah.
And thus, with her, Ben Reilly, and Jessica Drew, they prove how much of a hypocrite Miguel OHara is.
Yeah.
Because they are anomalies.
Yeah.
Jessica Drew did not get bitten by a spider. She was either gifted those powers through mystical means, or she was a spider that became a human.
Yeah.
It's weird. Comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, she never was bitten by a spider. Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker. He got those abilities because he was cloned after Peter became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
SpiderBite has her abilities thanks to VR. She was never bitten by a spider. So the audacity of getting mad at Miles.
Yeah.
But since I brought him up, first off, your thoughts on SpiderBite?
She was good. We just didn't get to know much of her.
True. We'll probably get to know more about her because I think she had a change of heart and joined the band.
Yeah.
And I guess we get into the main antagonist spider himself, Miguel OHara, a.k.a. Spider-Man 2099, played by Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, formerly Apocalypse and Moon Knight.
Well, formerly Apocalypse, still Moon Knight.
Yeah, even though they should have made him more like the Marvel's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, true.
Instead of a joke of himself.
But then again, how are you going to work with multiple personalities? But besides the point, Oscar Isaac did a fantastic job as Miguel OHara. Yeah. You truly felt like Miguel went through the ringer the last time we saw him. I mean, to the point that just to make sure he's still his overtly buff self, he's still injecting himself with the serum that gave him his spider abilities. And, he's just taking everything way too seriously because, unfortunately, he ended up taking over the identity of a different version of him in a different universe, and he ended up causing an incursion. And everyone that he knew, including the daughter that he ended up having in that universe, ceased to exist. And because of that, that's why he created the Spider Society. To make sure that everyone is following things according to plan. To make sure that no more incursions happen. But it's also showing how much of a hypocrite he is.
Yeah.
Because while he's getting mad at Miles for being bitten by a spider that wasn't from his universe and becoming Spider-Man, Miguel himself is a Spider-Man from not the normal means that everyone must follow as a canon event. He got his powers via a special serum he created. Because during his time period, they needed heroes. Heroes had ceased to exist for a long period of time. And also because of a rival meddling with his serum, that's why he becomes Spider-Man. But, I mean, his closest allies, such as Jessica Drew and Ben Reilly, and Margot Kess,
and Lego Spider-Man.
Well, Lego Spider-Man, he's perfectly following everything he must follow. He's the goodest boy. Lego Spider-Man is the goodest boy. Yeah, everyone else that works with Miguel, they are anomalies that didn't follow the canon events. But yet, everything's perfectly fine with them. I think he's just pissed off because Miles is one of the biggest anomalies and he hasn't caused an incursion. Somehow, some way, the Spider-Verse just made it that he can work without causing calamity. And Miguel's pissed off about it. I mean, your thoughts?
Yeah, I do agree. He's a big hypocrite.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why he's doing what he's doing, but yeah, it is messed up. But I do have to give him credit. It was awesome to see his unique abilities because his powers work a lot more like how Venom works in the Ultimate Marvel Universe. With the claws and everything, just leaping. And dear God, him choke slamming Miles.
Yep. But let's get into it's both Gwen and Miles' allies.
Well, those closest to them. Well, Brian Tyree Henry as Jefferson Davis Morales.
Yeah, like we said, he interacts more with Miles as Spider-Man than Miles himself. He doesn't get much to do other than the reveal that, he's going to probably die.
Because he's about to become police captain.
Yeah, then they had to make that big foreshadowing speech. So Miles was late.
Yeah. But what we got to see of Captain Davis Morales, it was awesome. Was great to see. And also, I am very worried that he might still die in the next one.
Yeah. Me too. And then the mother has more to do.
Yes. Rio Morales, played by Luna Lauren Velez.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the moments she had with Miles in this one.
Yeah.
And I think it shows that of the two, she would be the more accepting one of him being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, that no matter what, she'll be in his corner, helping him.
Yeah.
You know.
And then she also plays an alternate version of herself.
Yeah, where apparently she's just doing her best as a single mother, because in that universe, Jefferson did die.
Yeah.
Oof. Plus, it was also cool that they did acknowledge her Puerto Rican background. Yeah. You know, that was cool.
Yeah, but with her trying to talk about Miles and Gwen being together.
Yeah. And her not really... Her and Jefferson not being completely trusting of Gwen.
Yeah.
I think... Is it one, because first girl Miles has been with?
Yeah.
Or two, where in God's name is Miles?
Both.
Yeah. But they learn to trust Gwen in helping Miles.
Yeah, I'll talk about Captain Stacy.
Yeah. Captain George Stacy, played by Shay
Yeah.
Shea Wigman.
Yeah.
He did a very good job.
Yep. Although he kind of still hated him at the beginning because he was going to arrest his daughter.
Yeah. Which I understand, but bro, you got the wrong intel. She didn't cause Peter to die. That was an accident.
Yeah.
Peter kind of caused his own death.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, he does redeem himself when she gets forced back into her universe.
Yeah.
And it also kind of leads into probably a canon loophole that he said that he resigned
from the police department.
Yeah.
So, and that didn't cause an incursion.
Yeah.
So not everything has to be concrete canon events.
Yeah.
And plus, on top of that, with Gwen's universe, I love that they followed the design of her comics. You know, that whole watercolor painting. I really liked it, and they showed the different contrasting colors to show, you know, her feelings and relationships. Mm-hmm. You know, her father still being that bright color despite the fact of her dealing with, you know, the blue surrounding her because of remembering Peter's death, her not being able to be with Miles, and everything that's going on with the Spider Society, and plus her dad not knowing she's Spider-Woman.
Yeah. Which wasn't that long.
True. But in the end, you do see the colors change once they have their moment of reconciliation. Yeah. And then that gives her the idea of creating the band.
Yeah. And then I guess go into the guy who will be the big bad of the next movie, literally.
Yep. Dr. Jonathan Owen, a.k.a. The Spot, played by Jason Schwartzman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who would have thought a silly character like The Spot would end up becoming very, very serious and downright scary when you think about it.
Yeah. He
was just a normal scientist that worked for the same company that Olivia Octavius works for. Amlax?
I guess so.
Amlax?
Yeah.
Amlax? Yeah. But, yeah, just him getting hit with a bagel just caused this domino effect of his life just being destroyed. He becomes the Spot, so he's not really necessarily what he once was anymore.
Yeah.
He just has a whole bunch of spots that are essentially portals through everything. He lost his job, lost everyone close to him, and all because Miles threw that bagel.
Yeah. And he discovers the multiverse.
Yeah, and then starts working on making himself more powerful so he can travel through the multiverse.
Yep. And now we see if his thing will cause the death of Miles' father or not.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the Spot. I mean, Spider-Man India nearly lost his world.
Yeah.
So only God knows what could happen to Miles's universe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now let's get into the good.
Yeah.
Again, the plot was perfect.
Yeah.
Perfectly explained the Spider-Verse and how all the Spider-Man and all the different iterations of Spider-Man that we have seen link together. We got to see not just Miles being the main character, but Gwen being a main character, you know, and how very integral their stories are to this whole series. Miles's parents have more to do, you know, as they are very instrumental in, you know, his journey this go around.
Yeah. The soundtrack.
Well, no, the acting.
Yeah, the acting was good.
Though you have to give major shout outs to Shameik Moore, Haley Steinfeld, Oscar Isaac, Jake Johnson, Karin Soni, and Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
They are the true MVPs of this whole movie.
Yeah.
Though everyone did fantastic, but those are the ones you really got to highlight. The action.
Yeah, the action was awesome.
My God. We got to see an all-out spider fight and chase.
That was the best scene of the movie.
Yes. Where essentially Miguel was, I'm a predator on the prey that is rising. Oh, I have found you, Ida. Don't you run from me, little Ida. He is on a mission to get Miles. And gets almost everyone in the entire society to chase him as well. And you see so many different iterations of Spider-Man. We'll get into it. But just, that was so big. That also took 3 years to animate. Wow. Just that whole sequence.
Wow.
And then Miles' fight with the Spot, which was fantastic. It truly felt true to form for Spider-Man. You know, him doing his best to maneuver from Spot using all his different black holes and portals. And plus, when we get to see various Spider people working together. Like when Miles, Gwen, and Hobie are helping Spider-Man India. It was fantastic. I mean...
Yeah, I agree.
Of course, the plot twist of Miles meeting himself.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's essentially what he could have become, but...
Yeah.
The idea of what has happened because he got the bite he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of does show Miguel's a little bit justified.
Yeah.
Because of Miles getting bit by that particular spider, that whole other universe is in catastrophe because there's no Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And like you brought up, the music.
Yeah. Let's see if there's a soundtrack list.
Yes, because essentially the soundtrack was made and curated by producer and DJ Metro Boomin. Yep, Metro Boomin was some more.
The finale song was my favorite. The end credit song is my favorite. Yeah.
So, I mean, what did you think of all the music Metro Boomin made and him bringing various artists that he's really worked with? Yeah. Metro Boomin is one of the best when it comes to being a producer.
Yeah.
If young Metro don't trust you, I shoot you.
Yeah. Then I guess the cameos now. The Spider cameos.
I've written so many. We'll try our best to see how far this goes. But some of the cameos were fantastic. Whether they were actually voiced or we just saw them.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw archive footage of Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. They acknowledged Tom Holland and Spider-Man No Way Home.
In a different numbered universe. It's not 8.
It's not 616.
Yeah, it's not 616.
It's 1999999.
Yeah.
We also got to see various Spider people like Patrick O'Hara, Web Slinger, played by Taron Killam, Spider-Man 2211, AKA Max Bourne, Ezekiel Sims, AKA Spider Therapist, which that was great and funny, as apparent. He knows the story. The fact that he has to deal with all these different spider people telling the same story, I feel bad for him. Sophia Barclay as Malata Windsor, aka Spider UK. We got to see Japanese Spider-Man. Yep. Takuya Yamashiro. If only he had been voiced.
Yep.
That would have been great.
Yep. Like I said, I wish he was in No Way Home also.
We also had once again Yorma Tacone was back. Not only did he voice Renaissance Vulture, but he was also the voice of 1960s Spider-Man. So, yes, we had 2/3 of the Lonely Island in this film. Why they didn't bring in Akiva Schaffer, I don't know. I want to see all 3 members of the Lonely Island playing a Spider-Person. We got to see the Insomniac PlayStation 5 Spider-Man, voiced by his voice actor, Yuri Lowenthal. We saw Josh Keaton return as the Spectacular Spider-Man.
He said that he just agreed with what Miguel said.
Yeah.
In the interview, he's like, he's not quite sure he believes, but he's being lied to, so he kind of believes it. Yeah.
Which I think that's the case with a lot of the Spider people. I mean, we saw Superior Spider-Man, which is Otto Octavius in Peter's body. Nick Novicki as Lego Spider-Man.
Yep.
Which apparently is Miguel's favorite Spider-Person.
Yeah. Good
job, Peter. You're the best. Iron Spider. We got to see Penny Parker return, once again voiced by Kimiko Glenn. And apparently Penny went through some stuff.
Yeah.
Because now she has a new mech suit, and she's much more melancholy because she went through the major canon event of her friend and also her Aunt May both being devoured by a Venom mech suit. So, yeah, the female version of Eddie Brock and her world and Aunt May both got devoured by that mech suit. So, essentially, she's living the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. Just emotional damage.
Yeah, but I get...
We got more archive footage of John Mulaney as Spider-Ham, Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir.
I guess we should go into the big cameo. The biggest live action cameo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, while they're showing all the different versions of villains, we actually see Donald Glover properly wearing the Prowler outfit.
Yeah.
He's finally Aaron Davis as the Prowler.
Yeah. Hopefully in the Tom Holland movie once the strikes ended.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. But you can watch the rest of this in the movie.
Yes.
It's too much to list.
I just scratched the bare surface of all the different spider people. I didn't even get into Bombastic Bagman or the Spider-Man Popsicle or the Chibi Spider-Man, Spider-Rex, Spider-Cat, Spider-Monkey.
Yeah, and of course the only real bad was that there was no 90s Spider-Man.
Yeah, we did not get the Fox Kids Spider-Man. We may have seen him, but we didn't get to hear him.
Yeah, I still think that they should, depending on how long it is, just get them to record a line for the next one.
Yeah, but I think during the time that they were making the film, the deal with Fox hadn't finalized, so they didn't have the rights to use that version of Spider-Man yet. So I think that was the one caveat, but come on, guys, you got time now.
Yeah.
You can bring him in.
Yeah, especially with all the artists walking out.
Yeah. Oh. And also the other biggest thing, that the fact that they left us at such a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, is Miles going to survive? Oh dear God, what's going to happen when the band runs into Miguel? And everything like that. And now we don't even know how long it's going to take to get the next film.
It's either going to be next year or 3 years from now.
God help us all.
And then we can finish this year with Spider-Verse shoot.
Yes, Steven, we're finally getting it. We're finally getting it.
Yep. So, we want to do the scores?
Sure. Why don't you go first?
I give this an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it was almost perfect, except for, like I said, the 90s Spider-Man. That's what got the 1 point off. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie.
For me, I give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yes. Not having Fox Kids Spider-Man did make me a bit salty. Especially since the fact we actually hear the villains from his universe in archive footage. So, yeah. That one got me. But for the most part, I love this film.
Yeah.
This film is fantastic.
But if you agree with our scores, go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team, where else?
You can also find us on Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok.
And make sure to find us on YouTube and make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos to your friends of yours, and get them to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, because we're on our We're on the road to 500 where we can finally get monetized. And we'll also create a Patreon where we'll do viewer requests, and we'll also do some special bonus videos.
Yep. But we have upcoming videos coming up now that Year for the Spider is gone. We're doing the popcorn music with 7076 and Hamilton.
Yep. Which is more of an expert novice.
Yeah. / popcorn music, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're doing the Flashpoint with the Flashes with the animated Justice League Flashpoint movie. 1, maybe 2 Flashpoints of the Flash TV show, Flashpoint universe, and the Flash movie.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, we're planning to do the Power Rangers 30th anniversary special sometime.
Well, now you've made it an obligation now, so yeah. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that.
Yep, and then we're going to do...
of course, once things are in order,
the Doctor Who.
We'll continue the Doctor Who marathon to talk about the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, and the third Doctor, John Pertwee. And also, later on down the pipeline, we will also finally tackle the Mummy films.
Yes. But
starring Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. So when it rolls out?
Well, sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It really helps. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.